I see the puns are going again. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm Neozar. This is my FTL hard win streak. We're up to 96. Got the Mantis A finished off last time, and we randomed and got the Kestrel B for this time. So I'm gonna just jump right into it. We're getting to almost the halfway point through the 4th cycle. Get through this ship in one more. I think that'll be half. Let's see. Also, I realized at this point now, since I started tracking my data and doing win streak stuff, now half of my games are this one streak. So that's pretty cool. All right, as usual, I didn't think about this whatsoever before starting up. So I just need to, let's see, the field. Let's do field animals, right? Mouse. Do a bowl, and let's see, let's mix it up a little. Let's do a snake, and a bee. There we go. All right, pretty exciting field animal stuff here. Hard, enabled. I think we got it all set here. Looks like my stream's being a little funny. Let me check something. A vole, it's kind of, you know, like just another rodent kind of thing, I believe. I believe it's closer to like a mouse than a weasel, but it's just kind of in that family. Like if you saw one, you'd probably be like, that's a mouse. You know, hamster, whatever, that whole realm. I'm not actually positive if voles live in the fields versus forests. I think it's, you know, likely they show up there sometimes. But anyway, let's see. Just make sure I got it all set first. Vole U8, that's pretty good. Alright, so this is one of my favorite ships. Although last time it really tried to like make me dislike it a little bit. I had a fight where it was like, I think at one point I'd missed 10 out of 18 shots and done like 2 damage to the other ship across like 5 volleys while they just like were destroying me. Early store is not really useful. Alright, we can kind of go around it though. Yeah, that's true. You know, you're definitely like related to this crew here. Which is definitely one of the closer times for people getting on here, because I'm not a friendly streamer, I guess. I don't put, although I guess maybe I'm being friendly by not like sacrificing my viewers as part of my crew. Leos are, no, I don't. I saw the first like 2 or 3 seasons of that show. I didn't play any of the games. I don't need to do a whole lot to get ready on this ship. It's pretty much just like go for it. Save my positions. Alright, missile. No teleporter. So we're probably just putting it all into weapons at the start here. Bunch of crew. And not a whole lot to do here. I guess we'll do some O2 stuff. Just in case things go bad here. want to get at least 2 damage on this if I can. I think I'll just do the whole first volley into it, and then mix it up after that. Or do I keep one laser so I can try and shoot their missile? Maybe I do that for a second. Nah, it's coming to where I can't get it. Nice, we dodged it though. Alright, so should be pretty set here. Alright, 14 scrap. Yeah, missile dodging is the best, but it's something that like can never count on doing it. You gotta kind of just like plan to get hit by every missile. Alright, distress beacons aren't that great for us because we don't have, I don't think we have any blue options at this point. Kind of like Kestrel A. You get tricked into it because you get the 2 crew that are other species, other races, whatever. And it's just like, they're not great for blue options, especially in civilian sectors. Well, that's just like so nice, a nice free thing. Do we go to the store and sell it? I mean, that's almost shields. I mean, what else would we possibly buy? Scanners there. Do I own a gun? No, I do not own a gun. There's not really anything else I'd buy besides scanners at this point for 45 scrap, 48 scrap. I feel like it's better to just hold on to it for the moment. Sell it at the next store. Alright, so we're just gonna shoot their weapons here. I find that pretty surprising that you'd say that, because I feel like I'm generally seen as the kind of person who really wouldn't. I'm pretty, like, casual. I mean, I guess, like, you know, I live in the woods a bit. I think it's gonna, this isn't gonna hit it, but you can see it's too far back, just by a little bit. That's fine. Just the one offline. I got their weapons offline already. I probably should have been paying attention to the ion stuff. I could have gotten this online earlier, but it doesn't actually matter, I guess. Just gonna try and take their shields offline so the flare hits them harder. Well, they might be dead before that. Yeah. All right, 16 scrap. Alright, no damage though. That should go out in time. Nice. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I am American, it's true. But I don't know what the, like, you know, many Americans own guns, but many Americans do not, for sure. I mean, I know plenty of people who do and plenty who don't. Mostly, like, in my area, people use it for hunting, because there's, like, tons of deer here. Way too many deer. Alright, so they're running, which we don't like. But you know, I also don't like their weapons. So. Although it's kind of nice as a heavy laser because these won't sink on the first volley, really. So actually, I'm going to be a little greedy here for a second. Let's see. I probably should have flash shields there, but it doesn't actually matter now. I guess I could probably go to the store now. I'm trying to think about how greedy I get with this. Because that's like 73. It's like, oh, like one more jump would be really good, but then it's like, am I going to delay shields that much because of it? So I got to figure out like this sector layout. Although diving the exit's totally an option with it being in a nebula. So I get 6, maybe 6 and a nebula before the exit. I mean, there's a chance I can do this. Definitely get to that nebula jump after 6. Yeah, I think I can do that. Take this one more jump, and then hit the second store, and then do 6 around this way, and the nebula and exit. So I'm going to do that. Kentucky, yeah, I mean, I do not live in Kentucky. Kentucky's a very different place. I live in New York, so pretty different state. Although I'm outside the city a bit, but not like way outside. Let's see. We're definitely not buying a slave. What do you got? Human mantis with medbay. Well, thank you for sending a human over, not the mantis, I guess. You guys can just punch each other in there for now. I kind of forgot about that, and I was watching it. As I was watching, I was remembering, like, I feel like I need to have someone manning shields to have that be like a guaranteed, because I think sometimes you get it in time, sometimes you don't. Of course, they hit shields with it immediately, but that's all right. Because we should be able to hit that, I think, in time. But everyone just go fix that quick. Keep banging it around. Everything, and then piling is going to take forever to fix because Mantis is doing that. Biggest threat there is like them starting to run because I'm just like putting a bunch of damage into one system, but oh, nice, we got a fire there. Alright, so I should maybe stop firing as much then. Trying to run, but yeah, no, they got under control. It's not happening. I mean, it's a powered bar. I don't know. I really want this scrap right now before the store, also just to get shields. Alright, have a Zoltan. I mean, 2 Zoltans is nice with the shields. So I feel like I'm supposed to take this, but I really don't want to. I'm realizing. So. 22 scrap, that's a lot of scrap. All right. Do we buy the burst laser? Probably. Like the small bomb's slightly tempting because of the 9 bombs. Definitely sell that. But it's like I don't want to go down to a 3-shot volley and then be reliant on bomb. Like that just makes me reliant on bombs all of a sudden, especially like moving into later sectors. This makes me like stronger in later sectors because then I'll have 5 shots. And then I sell a basic laser. It's like, you know, a second slower, which sucks, but not really a big deal. And then we still have enough to get shields. So we'll do like this at first to still have 4 shots, and then we'll build up the weapon power and stuff in a little bit. Probably not for a while. So I want to save for like hacking and mind control and stuff next sector. Right, pulsar. Weapons we would be safe against, but the pulsar, obviously. Whatever, just stay in there and then go into shields. I mean, into sensors after this volley. I didn't realize that those weren't synced up right. Or wait, I didn't need to worry about that because 2 shields now. Oh, and I just hit the wrong. Not paying enough attention, obviously. And like, that's where the weapons were last fight. My opinion on Solitaire, I mean, you know, I don't think I have a strong opinion on Solitaire. Like, sure, it can be a cool game, whatever. You know, not the most exciting all the time, but... Oh, man, I can't believe I messed that up. That's nasty. I'm gonna get, like, hit by these now. Should have taken that Zoltan, right? Although then I would only have 1 shield. It's like gonna take these down all the way anyways. I'd rather them... I don't want them to take the weapons down though. Maybe just drop this down to 1 so it's shorter. Yeah, engines, alright, so that's not gonna like be great. Not a bad place to hit at least. Alright, and we got their mini beam offline, so that's like everything. No, it's not good enough. Alright, so just 2 damage from a mistake, that's not terrible. Definitely have that problem with like good ships that I just can't help but play like a little sloppier, which is like sometimes totally fine, not a big deal. You just have to like catch it when it's like a run that's, you know, you never know when a run's gonna turn bad, sector 2 or something, or just any jump. You protest Solitaire, yeah. I mean, I feel like it's, you know, not something people generally have very strong opinions on. I mean, my mom, ever since I was a kid, she's always been into like the card games, both like pre and post computer age, and has played like intense amounts of hours into like certain card games. Ones that are like, you know, single player like Solitaire, but I think more strategic, more depth to them. Although I'm sure she's played plenty of Solitaire too. Alright, well, Distress Beacon. Hopefully it's something we can use. Alright, this one we can't. We don't have an NG, we don't have an Ion, we don't have cloaking. So, we leave them alone. I've played them years ago, like when I was like a kid on my mom's laptop. I can't remember what most of them are called. No, there's one called 40 Thieves, I know. We're definitely not surrendering your crew to slavers. What we probably are doing, though, is we're going to train. Here's a good training ship. Yeah, so we're totally safe from their weapons. Auction's on, everything's powered. Yeah, you're going to have a terrible time training shields, but that's fine. I'm actually just curious what crew they got going on. Rock and a Mantis. Alright, so probably not going to do anything to them because of the rock. Gonna get the cheat engine going. Oh, your dad loves 40 Thieves? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. My mom, I feel like she doesn't play them quite as much now. She has a lot more word games now. But she had literally probably like hundreds of thousands of games recorded on some of those things over like, you know, a decade of playing like every day. Some like insane amount. Oh, is that all the training? That's so quick. I'm not even paying that much attention. I'm like, oh, that's actually all the training, isn't it? I mean, not the shields training, but that's not that important. All right. Well, that's some fires for sure. I mean, I guess I'll like shoot their oxygen or something. No, I don't want a human. That's terrible. If they offered me like an NG or something, I'd probably take it. But human is just like worthless. I mean, this isn't happening. There's no point staying here. 22 scrap. 2, 2, 2. That's a lot of twos. Yeah, Magmar. Magmar is such an odd Pokemon. Yeah, alright, so I definitely got room for this. That's good. I'll probably just float scrap for a while. See what we got for stores next sector. Alright, this is double rewards, which is awesome as always. Yeah, crappy drone, so it's just the bomb that's a threat. But the system repair makes it so we're like not gonna kill them. I guess we could sit here and just like auto fire a basic laser until we killed this thing enough time to use up all their extra drone parts, and then we could shoot it and kill it off and possibly get some kind of like fire kill. But I don't think we want to count on that. Small bomb. I'm not sure if they can have any other bombs right now, honestly. I feel like small bomb's definitely the most common. Right into engines. Bombs are so easy to like mess up their firing. $17, $16. Good old 33 scrap. Hey, Raka. Yeah, the run's going solid. We got a free combat drone. So, sold it and got a basic laser. And not even out of Sector 1 yet. Got our training in. That's like the flags, right? Is that what vexillology is? I mean, you know, I think flags are kind of interesting. I feel like, you know, there's definitely a little bit too much traditionalism that goes on with like flag design in general. Well, I feel like it either goes one way or the other. It's either like super traditional or like super crazy, and I feel like, you know, you can kind of go in between a little bit. But I feel that way about a lot of things. Definitely attacking these guys. Got a missile, they got a combat drone. Alright, so it's worth having you on shields for sure. I don't really want to have to micro my power against this thing. I'm just going to hope it doesn't go berserk. And we'll just take out the missile. First chance we got here. Alright, I guess I might try now. As I say that, I'm like, well, maybe I'll try and shoot it. I'd rather get these shots in. Ah, I could have shot this one too, I think. Actually, never mind. I think it's too far back. Going for something over here. Oh, no, I could have. Oh, well. Going for weapons too. That's alright. Should be it. Maryland's an interesting state. I mean, it definitely varies a lot. I have some good friends from Maryland that we visit. They're repairing quick. I hate just shooting everything into weapons over and over, but sometimes that's how it is. Nice. Level 1 shields. No, will not accept surrender. Alright. 16 scrap. Oh, thank you. Apparently I muted myself at some point. I was talking about how shooting Artemis is just the best. That made me really happy. And what else did I say? I should probably talk about something else. Oh, I was saying I haven't been to Colorado, but it seems like it's a pretty cool state. I've been like, you know, all up and down the East Coast and to like California and Oregon and stuff. But I have not been that way. Alright. Let's get our O2 up a little bit. It's like so tempting to like buy a power bar or something, but just not worth it. Because we don't need it. And who knows what stores are gonna have. Hacking, that's exciting. Depending on what they hack, possibly a safe fight. Yep. Alright, that's a safe fight. There's a star. Alright, so probably still try to like maximize jumps a little bit. But I gotta see how many more jumps I get before the exit as well, because I want to find the second store too, in case this one sucks. We get 7 more jumps before we have to jump to the exit. Which makes me feel like I shouldn't go that many more. Well, I guess go down here, because I don't know. These might be stores also, this one, or this one. Spreozar, I mean, I don't know who I'd be. It wouldn't be me if that's something I was doing. Like, mass murder is definitely, like, outside my, my realm. They have a boarding drone coming or something. I wasn't paying enough attention to it. Yeah, onboard drone, anti-personal, that's exciting. We don't need engines. Go power my oxygen, so... Oh, geez. Don't do that. I'm so bad. Look at me. Look at this, just, like, newbie mistake here. Because I want to do this. Oh, up just in time. I probably should have like kept him in there then, like, or put him back to like do the faster recharge. Alright, yeah, so I'm gonna go for an O2 kill here if they've got level 1 O2. If we get a fire going or something. We just have to watch out if they start trying to run or something, but we should be able to take out other systems hopefully if that happens. The least fun ship to play? I mean, it's hard, because it's like, it depends so much on the run also, because like even ships that are really frustrating can be like fine to play. Like Rock A is normally, can be a really frustrating ship to play early game, but also if you just get like an okay weapon, then it's just like, you know, whatever, it's just as fun as like any other ship, like any other basic ship. But that's definitely one that can be frustrating. I used to like the boarding ships in general a lot less, but a big part of that I think was because I was playing on tablet so much, and Crew Micro is just like so much more time consuming to do. So I used to like really not like Slug B, but I don't mind it quite as much now. You know, Stealth B is definitely like, the micro in the beginning is really tedious. But I do think it can have some kind of interesting metagame stuff that happens like in the mid game. But I'd definitely say like Stealth B is like a bad ship I don't enjoy playing that much, where like Stealth C is a bad ship that I find at least like kind of interesting. Ooh, fire. And the big benefit of that is that it gets the O2 out. Like it should get the O2 out in this room. And then also get some damage on them. But the extra hull damage is not great. It's like, I don't think it's going to happen here. I feel like we'd need to get a fire on our next one, maybe. Although, maybe not. Because if they wait until this guy dies, they'll be too low to repair it. So, no, this might have worked out, actually. Yeah, because he's dead. Now it's too late. All right, great. Yeah, it's too late, buddy. A pike beam? That's so boring. Come on. My opinion on World War I? You know, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like death and violence as much, you know, in reality. So I feel like it's an unfortunate thing, you know. I'm not much of a... History is one of my weakest subjects. Not that I don't know history, but I'm much more like art, literature, and math science oriented. Alright. Where are we going from here? I guess we just go to the store now. Hey, Badger. Yeah, Kestrel B go pew pew. Ah, reloader. What? Yeah, I definitely agree that it was an important time in history. What do I do with these weapons? I'm kind of sad that I found this pike beam. I want to sell it. So boring. Boring old pike beam. Oops. No, I'm not going to sell it. But I'm also not going to sell anything else. I'm just going to keep it in my hold for now. Nah, I'm not going to... Definitely not going to buy either of those. This is a thought, because I got a bunch of missiles. No, I do want more lasers, but these lasers aren't strong enough for this moment. I'd rather have systems. What do you mean it was an accident? No, it definitely wasn't accidental. I feel like it's a tiny bit greedy at this point, but I have enough scrap still for the second store to buy a system. And then I was watching Billy Kirby today for the first time for just like 20 minutes or something. And he found a reloader and bought it, and then I talked to him about reloaders, and he definitely seems to be like an advocate for buying reloaders and thinks they're kind of underrated. And you know, he's got the, you know, he's like number 4 in line out of players with long streaks, so I think the scales are tipping a little bit in favor of the reloaders. All right, Ratman, have a good night. Catch you next time. All right, so that could be a store. But also, like, I'd rather go this way. I think it's more likely to find them. Alright, I think that's fine. I don't think these are worth buying at this point. Especially because we can, like, switch into the pike if we need to. Yeah, we definitely need systems more, and those aren't the systems I want. Alright, that's fine. This one we just attack. Ooh, we'll suffocate them, right? I still have my Zoltan in O2. That's pretty funny. Whatever, I guess you could stay there. Yeah, I genuinely think it's often a good purchase. And even in like Sector 2 and stuff, there's situations where I think it's the right purchase. Um, like if we were on a ship that was struggling with weapons, if we were on like Kestrel C and we couldn't get anything else online so far, and we had no extra systems or weapons, and that's like all we found, I would definitely buy a reloader. Like I definitely think it's kind of genuinely underrated. There's a lot of times where it has a bunch of uses. But I can't always justify it for sure. Investigate the debris. Depends a lot on the ship too. It's like, you know, on a boarding ship, I'm really unlikely to buy a reloader unless it's like late game and I just have tons of scrap. But on a ship that I'm playing as like a gunship, I'm much more likely to buy it. And then I still very much favor fast weapons with it also. How many jumps do I have left? Because I'm not going to be able to see everything, I don't think, before the exit. That's probably, like, if these are stores, I can't, like, actually do anything about it anyways. If we go 1, 2, 3, and then I can go there still. I think it's the way to go. Yeah, that's definitely around the 12 seconds to get into cloaking. I feel like I definitely favor that. But in general, even the faster ones, it's like, you know, you can start sneaking in before missiles and stuff, or like your second volley gets in before missiles. Well, that's the thing. It's like I definitely wouldn't buy a reloader over more weapons or mind controller hacking, but I definitely buy it when those aren't available or in addition to them if you can afford it at times, as opposed to like floating even more scrap or building the defenses. Because there are times it's like getting the faster volleys in, or like, you know, you'll either beat weapons or like in a fight when your weapons are weak and you just need to like shoot a bunch of times to finally get damage through. Like, you know, if you're 6, 7, 8 volleys into a fight, like that 10% off really starts adding up to like how much damage you've had shot at you at that same time. So I think it can be like a good way to like add on to a weak offense. Yeah, with like ion charger and stuff, it's definitely like huge. All right, so here, what do? We inquire about the process, right? No, it doesn't actually matter because I'm not giving them anything. It doesn't matter. Just empty options. Ugh, this stupid thing. So I guess I probably waste a jump. It's like storage is too valuable. Dive, dive, dive. I mean, maybe if I get hacking or something, maybe I'll dive. Like, I'll have to think about it. I mean, how many more jumps is it like before that? That's 5 jumps before, so it gets 2 more. So could I can do 3, 4, 5. I could theoretically do all that. Which totally might be worth it, honestly. I mean, the thing that I hate about that is that it means that I'm not going to want to spend money on my engines when I normally probably wouldn't. Although I can maybe get away with just going up to engines 3. Yeah, I'm just trying to think because it's like, as much as I hate diving, getting in a store in 1 jump versus a store and 5 jumps. I guess it's 2 with the exit's another one. Well, let me. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to the store because I can do it this way instead. So I get the same number of jumps in and skip this one. Right? Or does that one get overtaken? No, I can get that in. So I can see like if this is a good store or not. And if it's a bad store, I'm probably gonna like go. Battery, teleport, yeah. This is garbage. I'll buy the battery because I want hacking to be more likely to be in the pool, but and also I kind of need power. But this store sucks. So it's like I don't know if I want to jump because I mean it's hard. It's because it really depends. Like if these are empty jumps and I have to drop money into engines, like that puts me in a bad spot all of a sudden. So it feels like kind of an unnecessary risk where it's like I'm kind of okay if I just have these jumps, and it's like if these are empty but I don't waste scrap, it's fine. Versus that's just kind of like win more. And it's just like always what it comes down to with me with dives. I mean not always, like I totally dive sometimes. But it just feels like there's a chance that it's a risk here. Even if it's like unlikely. And there's much less of a chance of me like losing because I miss out on some scrap. Nice empty jumps. Well, that was, so at least that one was an empty jump. Yeah, see that's the thing. It's like I don't. If I knew those were going to be scrap, that I'd have enough scrap next sector to like buy something like hacking or whatever still, then I'd be more okay with it. But feeling like I might have to spend scrap on engines and then be shorter for next sector, when it's like. Yeah, I don't mind, and I mean, I'm never up at engines 4 this early unless I'm diving. But like, you know, I'll go up to engines 3 sometimes this early. But often it's like that scrap I hold off spending until like sector 6 or 7. I mean, sometimes I don't go up to engines 4 till like sector 8. So it definitely like changes the way I, you know, my scrap curve. Probably should have fired these slightly faster. Especially now I have reloader, I like really gotta take advantage of it. It doesn't really matter when you miss everything, but we're not gonna be time. Go check those instead. So I should have cycled my power for the basic laser shot. They're aiming for shields, aren't they? Fake miss. Didn't actually miss. Unlike all of our shots, which missed. Alright, so that's kind of gross, for sure. And just do everything to weapons again. Flak one is such a gross weapon early. I mean, it's always bad, but like, just how it just hits one system. So hard. Alright. So we're 2 out of 8 shots so far, I think. Hopefully this gets some misses from just like where it's aiming for. Nice, just 1 hit. It's like I still kind of feel like the weapons charging is just still the most ideal thing to do here. Like the fact that we've missed all those shots from other volleys doesn't make it any more or less likely this next volley will finally do something. All right, we got 3 out of 4 that time. We got the flak offline. So now we're safe again all of a sudden. So it's easy, I feel like sometimes sometimes it's right to like change your targeting scheme partway through when stuff happens. But other times it's like easy to get scared and like do something different, or like invest resources in repairs instead of charging it. You're not going to take my shields off on me. Yeah, fire's going. But it's like, I can't do anything with the Lanius on board here. It's not going to happen. Gumpo. Kind of has. He definitely has some value. I'm going to take him. We're definitely like lacking in blue options in general. Rock is really good for that. No training. I mean, you've got a bunch of shields training, but I'm more likely to want you to run around. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. You can move those stations around a bunch either way. It's like, you know, I don't really need crew. Can deal with 4 crew for most of the run. You know, 5 is kind of like the minimum I like for flagship. We can do less also. But hoping to have a bunch of blue options can be helpful, especially when we don't have a rock or an NG, because they overlap some too. Abandoned Sector or Mantis Homeworlds? Well, we're not doing the Kazakh quest because we don't have level 3 sensors or level 2 medbay. I'm not buying those. I think we just do Abandoned for a second one. They're still fine Sector 3 and guaranteeing 2 stores again. And they're generally better scrap. Alright, good. My worry was like, oh, it's going to be a forced store first jump, and then like it's going to have hacking. So that's the thing. Right now, I'm not great against 2 shields with this loadout for sure. I got to remember I have a battery also. But I'm like okay against them. And so I do really want to upgrade my weapon system by 1. But I don't want to do that and then have a store and not be able to get hacking, because that would be better. Or mind control. So that is awesome. What a good trade. I don't need those. But I do need that scrap. I gotta stop doing this. I like keep thinking about fights and like hitting and unhitting pause without charging these up. I mean, it's more okay when it's the basic lasers because they're slower, but... Alright, so we just put everything into weapons here and hope for the best. I mean, I guess we should be venting and stuff. It's probably too late for this volley. Nice. And see, that's reloader magic right there. That wouldn't happen without the reloader. Oh, not long enough though. Although this has got to have dropped a bunch of charge, so we should regain whatever shields way before this fires. We're almost gonna fire again. Looks like in time. Long enough. It went offline that we could fire again. Take it offline for good. Look at that reloader power. Brilliant. How can you not love that? Feels the best. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be NG, either NGC or Lanius B. I sound like your friend? Well, you know, I could be your friend. I have friends. These things happen. We will not accept that surrender. But yeah, my thoughts on like why Lane ESP and NGC are just clearly the top ones is because they can just like brute force bad RNG pretty much. Like you can just throw the worst luck at them, and most of the time they can just like overcome it. And like you can't do anything about it. You know, it's like the Lane ESP only struggle is if you find a Zoltan shield with deadly weapons and you just miss an absurd amount of advanced flak, where the NGC has the beam drone to like guaranteed, you know, beam it down. But with like hacking or the Lanius boarding and be able to board auto ships and dual laser and beam drone, like you just, and blue options are both Lanius and G crews, and they both have scrap from augments. It's like they just have so many ways to win the game. Um, you can kill 3 punts using bio beam and mind control. Well, I'd say Badger, maybe did you miss any crew kills there or something? Maybe, or maybe you're just bad at your sector routing. I don't know. I don't know what happened to you on your NGC loss. You know, that's been my hesitation with. I feel like I'd be ready to declare NGC. What is this sector? Sorry, I gotta interrupt myself here. What is this nonsense down here? It's like a little Tinkerbell hanging off the back. It's like all of these are past the exit. Um, so we haven't seen a store yet. So unless the stores are in these, it's like we're gonna rush past the exit probably to try to catch them. Yeah, no, NGC, it's not like a ship I'm like, ooh, that's a fun ship. It's definitely a ship I'm like, ooh, that's like, I expect kind of a free win. Um, but it's not like, I mean, I don't think any of the ships with drone control are ones that I like really like. The one I like the most out of them is probably Stealth C for ships that start with drone control. And then maybe like Zoltan C or something. But all the NG ships I find like not my favorite. It's also the 3 weapon slots I don't love. But I can kind of look past it on the stealth ships a little bit, at least the A and C. Drone fan club, yeah, yeah. Stealth A, I mean, Stealth A is really good. It's really strong. But I definitely think it's more vulnerable early game. I mean, I think it still like can overcome really bad RNG. I had a Stealth A run, not my last one, but the one before it. That was just like it had a horrendous early game. The enemies it went up against. And I still like made it through the sector. I think it was under 10 hull by the end of the sector, and I feel like I played really, really well. And then, you know, I still won, obviously. But like, if I didn't have a good next sector, I could see it having been a loss and been one that was like I didn't have a whole lot I could do about it. Another boarding event. Come on. But I definitely think Stealth A is like clearly in the top. Yeah, see, I disagree with that because I think Zoltan B is better than Zoltan A, and possibly better than Crystal B. I think Crystal B is slightly overrated. But it's really, I mean, all the ships at that point, they're also hard to tell because I'm sure their win rates are all over 99% by like a significant, like probably, you know, over like 99.5%. But I think Slug C and Zoltan A and Crystal B are all weaker than Zoltan B, probably. Um, but it's hard to say. I'm trying to think of, I feel like there's another ship I'm forgetting about that I put up there, but maybe not. I don't know what it'd be. There's a store. All right. How many jumps do I have before this exit? 5. Sorry, I can't get them. I mean, this is so forward. So I think I do the store. And this at least gives me a chance to like get both of these beacons or something. Really want systems. Mind control, there we go, that's something. Heavy laser too is kind of tempting. I'm gonna have to think about this for a minute, what I want to do with my future here. I mean, I don't think I can pass up mind control. Because I need systems. Yeah, I definitely am in the club of I think Zoltan A is overrated a little bit. Just because I've had bad experiences with it. But then it's at the same time I haven't lost with it. And so it's, you know, I have a 3,500 score run with it. So clearly it's like a really good ship that it can overcome really bad RNG. Yeah, it sucks versus running ships. It sucks versus ships that manage, if your Zoltan shield goes down quickly from a hazard or like ions or whatever, they have a Zoltan shield. The second you get a damage on your weapons, you're in a bad position. Like it's really about ships that survive your first halberd. So like basically just Zoltan shield ships. It's like you can really struggle when it has to fire the halberd twice. But otherwise, it's, you know, maybe if you ran into a drone, like auto ship with drones in an asteroid field too, there's a way you could lose your Zoltan shield really fast and get damage on your weapons. You know, definitely like another extreme circumstance. But yeah, Zoltan B does too, but it has fast firing weapons is the big difference. And multiple weapons that it can get away with. Like it can lose its shield fast, but then it's going to take out the other shield fast most likely as well. Like you might be more likely to take some damage, but I think you're a little bit less likely to have really, really bad fights on it. But I don't know if that's really true or not. I probably overrate Zoltan B. I mean, okay, I can't pass up mind control. I just can't do it. That's, you know, goes against my playstyle right now to pass it up. Yeah, I think as much as I kind of want the heavy laser too, I'm not sure because I can't, like, I can't really use it very well immediately, because against two shields, like basic laser, heavy laser 2, even with mind control, like, is not great. It's like I really need more shots with it. And it's really just being like, well, it's because I don't want to run this. Although it's like, it syncs so much better with my weapons. It really does. $37, $91. All right, I gotta think for a minute. I'm gonna take a break just for a minute here, think about this, come back. leaning more and more towards buying it, which I feel like is a little greedy, but maybe it's not. But we'll see. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. So, part of me does feel like it's a greedy play, but part of me also feels like it's actually, there are advantages to it. My biggest concerns about it are if we find hacking really soon all of a sudden and can't afford it, that sucks. Or if like we just have like a empty jumps, bad jumps, and then running to 3 shields next sector like really sucks for a little while. But I also think there's advantages to like how it's the kind of weapon setup it starts making for us, and the timing of it and everything versus the pike beam. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sell a pike and a basic. Buy the heavy. And I'm still gonna spend a little scrap. So it's like I don't have much scrap at all right now, which is not ideal. But we can still do the volley we've been doing, because we aren't using that extra one anyways. And then we have an option here, depending what ships we see, or like where in the fight we're at. But I feel okay doing that. I feel like this is a strong weapon setup to like we can build through this, and that can kind of make up for it if we don't find hacking or if we get unlucky with the timing of it for a while. I'm pretty sure we just power weapons to attack, but I want to guarantee that's the one that gets a response. Scan is fight, power is the fight or investigate. Yeah, no, we just want to fight it. Yeah, alright. Just reading through the, like, if we manage to crew kill or something, but that seems pretty unlikely. So we're just scan it. Although I guess we have mind control, so that kind of changes the equation on that a bit. Right, Flak, they also have a heavy laser. That's gross. That times so well for them, for their first volley. Power weapons isn't always a fight. There's a, well, you can still choose. There's like 50% chance it's a fight and 50% chance you have another option, but you can still force a fight at that point. But it doesn't. The other option's like kind of worse generally, so it doesn't really matter either way. Engines hack. Yeah, they'll send one, and then once they're fighting, they'll send the other. They'll do that with other systems too, depending on the number of crew that they have. Yeah, that's a strategy I often do. I'll do a mind control and hack in piloting, and shoot a bunch of lasers, just, you know, or bio beam or whatever I have into the one room. All right, so we'll do the good old mind control right before the shots hit thing. So hopefully that drops their evasion a good bit. All right, so that's huge. Because just how much that's going to shift the timing also, of course. Hopefully that's a real miss and not a fake one. All right, nice. I guess I want you back on shields like a while ago. Looks like we're okay though. That's good. All right, I'm not going to accept that surrender. GG's. $25 scrap, nice. Oh, that's an interesting way to like do the timing, because it's so often I'm hacking piloting also, so I like trap them in there. Because I'll do that strategy a lot with like lasers and stuff or bombs. And hope to get fires in there to like burn down the second crew in time. Because depending on your volley, that can happen, and what the crew are and stuff. But that's interesting that like if you time with the bio beam, where that's gonna one shot the two crew that are fighting, that the other guy will just like run out. I feel like it might depend, because depending on the thing, like he might want to stay and fix piloting. But if they have like a med bay, he's gonna try to like run to the med bay probably. So I think it would depend on like what crew actions he's gonna take, or if there's like fires in there he wants to run from or something. Yeah, or if there's a higher priority system to repair like shields, that's possible too. Yeah. All right, so we can give him 15. All right, so we got a little repair and 36 scrap. That's awesome. We really want that scrap. So we get 2 jumps left right before we have to go to the exit again if we don't want to dive. So I guess I'll look here and like torture myself if there's a store. Hey, there it is. Yeah, but can I risk diving? One of those things where it's like, well, if it's a good store, sure. Because I could do that and then dive the exit. All these sectors are making me like feel like I'm supposed to dive or possibly not. I got full hull. A nice shieldless drone here. And we should beat this with the reloader, I think. Whatever it is. If it's an Artemis, we should definitely beat it. Alright. That's that. But yeah, I'll have to watch out for that my next Slug A run. Could also be like an interesting way to save drone parts sometimes instead of like hacking piloting also or whatever. So I don't want to do more than one dive, so when I'm going to go right to the store, I'm going to skip these things. Because I don't want to double dive. And so I can go store here, here, exit. Alright, well there's hacking. Alright, well I'm gonna have to get this, so I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, Slug A is definitely one of my favorite ships too. When I switched from playing on tablet to playing on the PC, I did like 2 practice runs first, like get into the micro on computer and get into, you know, being streaming when I do it and everything. And I did the Slug A and Slug C because I find them just to be like fun ships. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people really like Slug A, especially when you get like more into the game. It just has some like a variety of interesting tools, and then like the dual lasers stay relevant all game. It's like what I'm really thinking about. It's like I can't count on making scrap there, and I'm gonna be like running low on fuel. I think I just buy all the fuel and just have this for running and get like hit by the ASP some probably. Yeah, dual laser is such a good weapon. And then it's on a 4 weapon slot ship too. Alright. We got borders, but they're like crappy borders for sure. Like, I always do that. It's like, oh, I like do the venting and there's like, wait a second. I like move my person out of doors immediately. So it's just the bomb we gotta worry about really. Which is like a concern at the moment. At least the first moment here. I really want... Whatever, I'm just gonna use the battery right off the bat. Alright. Because I should be able to get a crew kill here. Like we're probably decently safe from their weapons. They have no med bay, no clone bay. So I kind of feel like this is one of those times where I might just do this to just get them all damaging each other as much as possible. And then you go help them out. And then just like kind of plan on tanking this first thing and hope the bomb doesn't hit shields, I guess. You're so slow. I want to like rearrange where you're going. Go there. All right. Now it's like with this without the hacking, like their evasion still, they just lose the 5% manning, but they have people in the room, so it doesn't help that much, but helps something. Not sure on the timing of this. I gotta just like let it depower this. Oh, that's a fun one. Also, I forgot to put my mantis back in that room, I guess. Oops. Oh, come on, stay in the room. I'm surprised they didn't stay in the room there, even with it broken because of my crew coming in. I gotta like take my weapons guy off, it's okay. Well, they still have the bomb, but no chain laser significant, so it doesn't matter if they hurt shields now with the bomb. Just mostly like don't want it hitting my crew, I guess. Alright, nice empty room. Alright, like mind control again soon. Alright, you go there, you start repairing that. Alright, so we can shoot this guy some more, hopefully. Nice, we got a fire. Can have him fight in the fire. Oh, come on. Really? You can be like that? This for a moment. That's him dead. One more volley will do it. Alright. Yeah, mini beam is crazy good. I mean, it's, you know, always hard when you're saying best because it depends on the situation. You know, mini beam, burst laser 2, heavy laser 1, halberd. They're all crazy weapons. Any of those weapons are like, just getting like one of them puts you in a much better place to win the game. Getting like 2 or 3 is like you win the game. If mini beam was on a 4-slot weapon ship, oh my goodness. No, they don't force you to upgrade it. I use mini beam for flagship most of the time. Often I just get a flak 1, and that's it. For stealth A, dual lasers, flak 1, mini beam. You can have a 0 damage flagship fight with that. It's so good. It's just like so ridiculously good. I guess I buy engines 4 here. Yeah, halberd, I don't like it as much because it's slower. I like the speed a lot. I'm like total speed junkie on that regard. Yeah, flak 1 or burst laser 2 also totally, you know, and then hacking, mind control, shields. I guess, yeah, because otherwise it's like all I'm missing here is weapon power. I mean, I'm missing like power in general and system power and cloaking. But this already, it's like this is an ideal, but this is a full game weapon system if I want it to be. Yeah. Yeah, I stand by Stealth A definitely still has a vulnerable early game against certain ships, even if you play really, really well. You know, Beam Drone 2, if your shots miss, which, you know, I had happen, you know, like you just can't get through their shields, while Beam Drone 2 is just like ripping you apart because you get misses. Zoltan shields with the engine hack event, so you can't run because you only have level 1 engines, you can't dodge, and they have like mini beam heavy laser with a Zoltan shield, and mind control is another fight I saw, sector 1, that was just like disgusting. And there's just no way to not take a bunch of damage from that. Like there's nothing you can do. You can micro to minimize it with a bunch of tricks with like the Zoltan shield damage timing, which I did and helped, but there's some pretty gross fights for it. The engines hack event is actually really bad for Stealth A because it relies on its engines a lot, and dropping it down to 1 is pretty awful. Alright, so we're diving here. Like I'll probably just run and like hack their engines or something. You start on sensors. Yeah, and there's definitely times I'd say that I've dropped at least one of the weapons on the Stealth A. I don't know if it's ever been mini beam though. You are free from the shield hack though. Here I am. But yeah, it's funny, like the one fight I saw that was really bad, it was something where it's like most ships at that point of the run or in sector would have been completely safe from it with 2 shields. It would have been a joke of a fight. But on Stealth A, it was like disgusting. And also, like the engines hack often doesn't even matter. Sector 1, sometimes you only have 1 engine anyway. But sometimes it totally does. Yeah, it's like with 3 shields, I'm not powering weapons here. It's going to be such a pain trying to get through that. But I'll hack their weapons. It's too bad they don't have 5th crewmen actually, because then they'd be in engines or in weapons. I can have them punch it down. Well, no, if you're gonna go in there, deal with it. Yeah, that's definitely the perfect world. I definitely had several misses those fights as well. And it's like also, you know, it's a testament though, like that was like one of the worst fights I could think of after seeing it. And you know, you can always see it worse, but it was like that was definitely like a really nasty one for Stealth A, and it still got through it like without taking that much damage because of how good its weapons are, and everything else. So, you know, it survived it, but it's like when you see stuff like that, you definitely know it's like, okay, if RNG was a little bit worse, or I just ran into like 1 or 2 or more of those or something, then all of a sudden it's like, then it could have been really, really bad. Miss, miss. Miss. Ah, epic. Look at this. This is where I'm like, oh, I should have been charging a basic laser so I can shoot this missile down, right? Can I get up in time? Oh, no, we're going to jump in time, really? Okay, cool. Zolin controlled. Ah, that sucks. Auto scout at an outpost. What time is it? Crew training time? Double rewards time? Oh, you're doing your scrap runs. Oh, that's awesome. That's right. So it's a sacrifice a crew member o'clock then. Terrible. Alright, so we're in a funny position right now because it's like the order I've gotten my stuff in is a little funny for me. I really want to get my weapon power up. But we can make it work a lot better with the hacking and the mind control and stuff. Zone control definitely sucks because that works way worse against their ships. Definitely like one of the worst sectors we could find right now, I think. We need fuel also, which is no fun. I don't know. I kind of want to fight heavy laser, mini beam, flak, burst laser 2, 3 shields right now. I don't know if I really want a free combat drone instead. This is a tough one. I mean, it's like these weapons aren't that incredibly amazing. It's only what, like 7 shots with a mini beam. They only like sync up quite well in general, actually. Yeah. Thank you. They hit the jackpot. They're a little loaded and they're just giving stuff away. Yeah, we both come out of it. I believe you that we both come out of this richer. I feel much richer. Totally on board with that. I think I can take 2 likely and then hit the store, which will be better because 17 scrap is kind of crappy to go to a store even if I can sell, another 25. All right, this is like, they have 2 shields and such better weapons to run into. All right, but what do I want to do? Depends what crew they have also, I guess. You're so slow, Rock. Interesting. Now do I go for like nailing them or do I go for messing their weapons up? I think I go for the greed. I fall. And I think I can get their way with the timing with someone manning shields to do this. Oh, I forgot to do this in time. Ooh, stunned him. That's actually like not the best outcome of that, I guess. Oh, jeez. Definitely slipped there, my finger. Alright. Because, yeah, if they double hit it, often it does a little damage to you still. But that worked out. The next thing is this time's like worse and worse for them now. Oh, and he's also just dead. is the other thing. Bye-bye, Maxwell. Stun bomb. All right, cool. That's something else to sell. Three times burst laser 2 and 1 time heavy laser 2. Yeah, there's just some like ridiculous ships that act like they're really weak. Or, you know, like the ship that's like not outfitted for combat that just is like disgusting. Yeah, it's really nice when you find the ships that are disgusting, but it's one where it's like you just be like, no, never mind, I don't want anything from you. I'll just leave. And they're like, okay, sure, that's fine. Like, thank you for like not forcing me to die to you. Yeah, you should just start on sensors. No, is that going to get overtaken? The curve is like right at it. This is where, yeah, the pursuit indicator is like definitely an advantage where you can see that, the curve beforehand, because that's going to get overtaken. I mean, I would have missed this awesome fight. That was like an easy fight with a stun bomb reward, but. Burst Laser 2 and a missile and shield. So Burst Laser 2, Lido, Shield Hack Event. I mean, Shield Hack Event, anything is just so gross. Like, Shield Hack Event, double heavy laser. It's so fast. Like, it hits you, but like you can't even fire your weapons before it's annihilated your weapons, and you're, you know, it's like piling weapons. And it starts double fires in both of them. And you're like, well, I guess I die. Yeah, that store is a dive, which is unfortunate. There's still one more store, this sector. But I was really excited about being able to sell these two things. We still don't have an ion, an NG, or cloaking, so we leave them alone again. That's unfortunate. Yeah, same. Definitely a dive for a non-store now. So yeah, we'll just take these jumps first now and try to get as many off. It's hard to tell when you don't see both lines, because it's like you're just like guessing off remembering how long it is. But because I use a ruler, that's like an advantage still. It's not as much as like the pursuit indicator, but I can like, you know how far it'll be. Dock with them. Alright. Burst Laser 2, Heavy Ion. It's not so bad. Trying to think about, like, I feel like this is too useful to run here. I'm not sure on like the actual stats. Depends on their evasion and stuff. Oh yeah, you use a ruler too, Badger? I didn't know that. I know people have like things they've cut and stuff, but I like the ruler. Also, it's like I don't run any mods on the game, so it makes it so I don't need to do anything. Of course, both of those miss. Alright, so I've got like high 40% dodge this early in the game. Definitely early for me. There we go. Let's dodge some stuff. Let's do it. Oops. Whatever. I'm guessing like I actually might flash against this anyway. So that's fine. .7 centimeters for you. 2.5 centimeters. For me, it's I can't remember. It's like just shy of an inch I think it's about a 32nd short of an inch, or just under a 32nd short of an inch. And in nebulas, it's like almost exactly 3/4 of an inch. There we go. That's a Zoltan shield down. Alright, well, if I do a weapons thing, I can make this kind of a safe fight, I think. I gotta switch to this, though, at first. I think until I get, like, something more going on with them. Wait. Do I know what options I get from this event? I forget exactly how it turns out. I know you can get like a crew member, or it's a test sometimes. I guess I should check up if crew killing them is right, because it's kind of a weird quest. Or not quest, event. Yeah, well, you can get a surrender. And then it's either medium scrap for crew kill or low scrap for destroying. But they surrender for low scrap to Zoltan. So that's true, so yeah. I guess, I don't know if that's a guaranteed surrender. Like I knew there was like something with a surrender, or like some scientist who would join you sometimes. I don't know if it's a guarantee or not. I wasn't sure if this is the event. Also, I actually didn't read through enough, where sometimes it's just like they give you a free map and it throws you off, because like if you have scanners, you'll see that there's a ship there, and then I'll be like, oh, it's not actually a fight. You think it's guaranteed? Yeah, I think you're right that it's a guaranteed one on this one. So it's like I could have done like a different hack. It doesn't really matter that much. But like I don't need to worry about trying to get a crew kill. Unless I didn't, you know, I'll take low scrap and a Zoltan over medium scrap. That's fine. I could use the power. There we go. Oh, we don't even, it's not even a choice. So I guess that's interesting. So if you either like one-shot them so they can't surrender, or if you like kill their crew so they won't surrender, that's when those other options happen. But it's like it's a forced take. I didn't realize that. That's interesting. All right, Maloney. Hey, you got some shield string. That's great. We need some more power. Yeah, this only gives you free. That always just feels like such a wrong event. I think it's the only event that's like that, where it's like it will show a ship and then it's like a non-thing, where you don't even have an option for a fight anyway. It's just, here's a map. If you want, you can always shove them out of an airlock. That's true. Oh yeah, that's right. You like look over their shoulder. You like peer over that. Like, yeah, there's a map there. So this is an interesting one, because once we get through their Zoltan shield, if we mind controlled, well, I guess I don't know what route they take, but I think they would go this way. If we mind controlled the Zoltan or the NG, the Zoltan will go to fight them and walk through mind control and disable it. So actually, I'm gonna counter it this first time to have mine like be synced up with theirs to be able to do that the second time. Hopefully. get through these shields. I'll hold on to the basic in case I can shoot this thing. Definitely can't shoot it. That's hitting me. Oh, is that really where it's going? To weapons? That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Alright. 2 more shots on that. It's not horrible. We don't need you in shields either. Yeah, the Hermes is gross because it's so fast, too. It's like you don't even have a good chance to get through their shields to get it down. I'm really glad that at least one of my heavy laser shots hit on that first volley. It makes a big difference. I'm also glad I have a reloader, honestly. Although, I'm not going to have a laser up for this one. So this one's probably going to go like right across all my lasers here, so... Oh no, it's being nice. It's not tempting me to try and shoot it. It's going for engines, it looks like. Yeah, I probably should have ran you out, I guess. Okay. So we gotta hack weapons for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, we want to maximize our volley shots for now. We're just hacking that right off the bat there. Of course it's the Mantis and sensors. Really? It's one person I wouldn't want to be right now because I want to mind control their NG. How fast can I vent this out? So the Zoltan, by running through mind control, depowered it. You know, the timing is like not as good as it could have been, obviously, because I delayed it so much. I don't know if that was still worth it, really. Not enough power. I don't need my shields up, I guess. So we gotta be careful here because this can also like mess up my crew. Because I have ones who will die to this. Both of them will die. Alright, so it's not coming for them. Right? mind control, maybe? I was missing a dodge. I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter, but it possibly mattered. It's okay. Alright, this is a gross fight. Hermes, man, with the Zoltan shield. I mean, it's also because it's like, it's partly our own fault for our weapon power being down. If we were up one more weapon power, like we may have gotten shields down faster and then taken this offline with the volley. You know, it could have been a completely different fight. Alright, so much better now. Come on, you can get that breach fixed quick, right? His oxygen's offline also. It's like, whatever, I guess I don't need engine, so I can do that and that. I'm also just thinking like, okay, whatever, I guess my control's not fixed, it doesn't matter. What do I do here? So do this. Wait, 4 heavy laser 1 and 3 reloaders. Oh my god, I just caught the end of that. I'm all focused here, so but that sounds awesome. Alright. Yeah, this is Sector 4. It's like a little over halfway through Sector 4, I think. We've got a store and a jumper too. Some stuff to sell. Alright, where am I at? I'm at where I want to let you repair one level of that, actually. I can do this. And then punch each other as long as possible. It's nice that the NG does such low damage. It's a chance this actually works out for us. Alright, so we need a fire for sure. But if we get a fire, he's probably dead. Does that make it better? Probably. I think there's a better chance of one shot of this causing a fire than there is of 2 shots of something else. That's on cooldown, whatever. Yeah, heavy lasers are just so fun. I love heavy lasers so much. Alright, so that should hopefully kill him. Bunch of missiles, but we don't need them. geez. Uh-oh. All right. Hey, we got an NG. Schultz. Fighting NG. 14 scrap. More scrap would have been nice, but an NG is at least, like, the most useful crew member we could find right now. So we've got pretty good blue options now. Can finally stop skipping that defensive malfunctioning defense drone thing. Alright, we never assigned you. Hey, burn down. Good. You deserve to burn down. You shot me 3 times with that Hermes. I was at full hull, and now I'm at 21. Scott is at full hull at least. Works out. Alright, so fighting NG is obviously the ultimate roamer here. I've upgraded my reactor this run, right? How much reactor power does this ship start with? So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Huh. I don't think I upgraded my reactor this run yet, have I? Oh well. Yeah, this is the field is the ship, so I did handles like a living field. I'm not sure if it's 7. I'm not entirely sure. I think it'd be 8 plus Zoltan, because it has level 2 engines to start. So it's shields, engines, oxygen, weapons, and then the Zoltan for like medbay or whatever. Although, yeah, I don't know. I forget how they do it. It's like Stealth B gets shafted on power. Yeah, but Stealth B is also just screwed. Like, definitely gets a short end of the stick. Alright, I just take one more jump before this still. It's still worth it. Choose your doom. Mantis, Slugger, Rockman. So we're going to go with Mantis because they generally have the crappiest ships. Big missile, but only 2 shields. And boarding and only Mantis also. So this is like, we could probably get a crew kill here. And no way to heal either. Man, they're just like lining them up. And we only need 1 shield bubble. Alright, I gotta think this through, how I want to do this. Because we should be able to do this fight, hopefully like 0 damage crew killing. This should be good. So we'll do the basic laser heavy 2 with evasion hack. Gets us 2 damage through into weapons, which, unless they have a buffer, which is pretty rare, if like at all, we'll take that offline. And we want to try... Let's say I want to mind control this guy still, so I'm going to have them fight. So we'll just kill this guy, I think. I don't think we're going to have them board back and forth. I think we'll just have the other ones just kill each other. I guess the other version of this would be like if we could kill them fast enough before this even fires, but I don't trust that happening. We need more shots for sure. If we could like fire all of these at once. Nice. He's just still killing him. It's like, I'm just trying to go fight the fire, man. Come on. I was too slow. I was hoping to hit it before the other guy left. I was much too slow there. But that's fine. They're both quite low. I guess he needs 2 hits. But I'll probably wait for the systems to come back up and see if I can get him to run around that way. Yeah. Practically dies running through the thing, just instantly gets one shot there. Alright. That's a lot of scrap. That was a great event. 0 damage, bunch of scrap right before the star. Definitely happy about that. Pray for cloaking. I guess I have enough for cloaking, don't I? I'd probably, yeah, I guess I'd buy cloaking. Totally. Need fuel. But if we don't get cloaking, that's okay. Mostly just need to, like, sell that stuff, buy fuel, buy another reloader. So we'll sell that, buy some fuel. Prepare up a little bit. Might as well make it an even 100. And wait, whoa, how'd that happen? Did we just like glitch this? Did we like duplicate that item somehow? That's cool. Yeah. Alright, so we're not gonna find another store this sector. So we're gonna go up a shield power or a weapon power also here. We're gonna buy a reactor also. I feel like I got really into O2 hacking for like a little bit, and then I started getting a little too into it and having fights where I was like, well, if I can O2 hack, if it's level 1 oxygen, I can O2 hack and crew kill them quick enough. That'll be better than like killing them some other way. And then you have like level 3 oxygen, and like it just like wouldn't work, and I'd just take a bunch of damage with a bad hack. But that was quite some time ago in my playing, so I could probably oxygen hack a little bit more at this point. And Kieran, I was just being a little sarcastic. I know I'm a little hard to read when I'm sarcastic sometimes. But I was well aware that I already had a reloader. I just can't help but buy them. I mean, I can when it's bad, but when I feel like it can be justified, I can't help it. Alright, this fight probably isn't too bad. Depends what the bomb is. Also, like, what level their cloaking is. Kind of plays into it. If it's level 3 cloaking, this might sync up in a way that's kind of gross. Alright, good. Just fire that right away. It is level 3 cloaking, but they fired this, so that's really good. Because if they didn't fire it right away, and they delayed it, then I think these would sync. At least, like, somewhat. We have 9 drone parts. Makes me feel like it's worth hacking. Oh, gross. Ion bomb. I was slow shooting my heavy laser, and the ion bomb hit my hacking, which made me miss my last shot. That's too bad. I think it's okay. Just taking anything offline there is huge, especially since like the ion bomb didn't hit our shields. Hey, Dribrats. I just noticed you came in here too. I'm not paying any attention to my timings. Do I have time to shoot you again? Not quite. Ah, so close through the cloaking. See, if I was tight with my volley there, this would have gone in with 2 reloaders, definitely. But both my volleys were sloppy. Please don't hit my weapons. Alright. Oh, that's right. I can hack you. Gotcha. Only a level 1 pilot, jeez. Alright. 23 scrap. The thing is also getting that reloader makes it like this is an even more viable weapon setup for flagship. Like we can totally just run 2 basic lasers. I'm so down to run this. Like, I mean, you know, ideally we'd find even better weapons, but it's really not that bad running this. And I wish there was more jumps like out here. I feel like, well, let's see. I get 3 in the nebula in before their exit, I think. But I only get, oh yeah, I could do 2 in a nebula before that, and then do this one, right? But do they line up right? I don't think so. Yeah, so they'll just do these 2, and then this one and be done. Three weapon slot ship, but this is a basic laser one. Yeah, I mean that definitely happens sometimes. It's funny how there's like some people who don't like this ship, and it's because of the basic lasers, and I think it's they sell them off too quickly, or they don't know how to integrate them right, or something. Because it's like I hear people say how it's like an awkward like weapon transition. Like I feel like it's like the easiest weapon transition because you have all these 1 power weapons, you just shuffle them around as much as you want. What do I want to do here? I want to do this thing I do sometimes, but doesn't always work out. But I always like, see, sometimes you can catch him, I think. What is he doing? Where is he going? What was that? Ran into the med bay. Man, there's some crazy AI with when you catch them when they're running around, the like priorities they swap around or something. I don't know. They go crazy. That was a real nutty one. Alright, well I'm just gonna do this. And I guess this for now. Should probably buy a power bar. So, I feel like I do that sometimes, trying to get them to fight, and it like never works out right. I think I'm imagining things, remembering a different fight or something. I don't know why I just hacked that. Whatever. I totally meant to like not hack it so I could have them fight in there and not break doors, but I think it's okay. Yeah, it's definitely like I don't think it's a weakness of the ship at all, but I do like understand how players can like run into an issue with it all of a sudden. All right, Roasty Toasty to 10. It's a funny name. It's like almost Tien Shinhan, but not quite. I wonder if it's like short for another name. Because I know that's like a lot of these were like their Kickstarter supporters and stuff. Speaking of Kickstarter for my book is like doing great so far. We're just hit the like halfway mark through the number of days, so we have like half the number of days left, and we're like just about 80% funded already. So I'm pretty confident I'll be able to do that. And my first book will come out, so that's pretty exciting. Should buy a power bar, whatever. I only have 3 jumps left in the sector. Buy one next sector. Oh, I see. I have B definitely above A for sure. I have B like several slots above A, and I think A is very good, but I definitely rate B pretty highly. Um, but I could see it being just me. This is sad. Come on, I crew kill ships all the time. What do you mean? I have mind control, I have hacking, I have a heavy laser. Make me so sad. That's like such a good quest. Right, hacking and like garbage weapons. Crazy defense drones as always. But what are you hacking? That's like the real question. Oxygen. So, oh no, my battery. Oh, that was perfect timing. That it hadn't taken my power yet, even though it seemed like it had triggered already, I thought. But so I was able to like micro it out. Who needs power, right? My ship's got plenty of power. Oh, I guess I'm immune to their damage because I have the Zoltans and shields. So that's cool. So I don't punch each other. And there's a chance we're not getting through their shields, but maybe we'll take out a drone. Man, you suck sometimes, defense drone too. I mean, I think it's also, I feel like it's worse on enemy ships. I feel like it's so bad on enemy ships sometimes. I've actually learned to like not be that scared of it a lot of time, unless you're running ions or something. Because it's just, if the shots like come across from it so frequently, it's too slow. Because it'll try and hit the shield breaking shot, which hits earlier, and then it like won't recharge in time to hit the shot that it would be able to hit. You agree, but we can fight it? Yeah, play some devil's advocate. Well, I think the Mantis C is the best ship in the game. It's got a 4-man teleporter. What's better than that? Case closed. Or Rock A, because I have a 100% win rate with Rock A also. It must be a good ship, right? Oh, see, that was interesting. All right, so, because Niren, you were talking about the biobeam thing, and so this guy, when the 2 mind control people died there, even though nothing else was broken and there's nowhere to heal, he still ran out of the room for a second before like realizing that he had to run back into the room. So that might just be the way the AI like works. Like it takes it a second to register that those guys are dead because like the dying animation. So they might always run out. That's interesting. So that makes that even more viable. Totally work for like mini beam and stuff too if you timed it right. Yeah, Mantis B and Crystal B both have 4-man teleporters also. I'm unsure if Mantis B or Mantis C is better. In some ways, I think Mantis C might be better. I like it more. Mantis A is definitely, I've come to realize, the strongest of the 3. Like, kind of hands down. It's like the least exciting and the least powerful late game, but it doesn't really matter because, oh, come on, really? I didn't get to go off. Oh, I didn't do that right. Oh, whatever. I just totally messed that up. That's fine. I mean, I feel like for when you're learning the game, that makes sense because Mantis B and Mantis C are much more powerful, and they're also much better not on hard. Because on hard, it's just like some early game stuff that messes them up. And Mantis A, I feel like I used to think was weaker too, because the two-man teleporter is just not as powerful. So it's like definitely easy to feel that way, that it's like not as good a ship. But the reason for like hard mode win streaking, it's the better one. It's just because it doesn't have those early game vulnerabilities, because it has the better weapon setup and the NG on board and the bigger crew. All right, nice. He's almost done. Oh, hey, Ray. I have a pretty solid Kestrel B run going here. I've got 2 reloaders, so I'm pretty happy about that. Man, we've just been getting so many crew rewards ever since we've been crew killing like everybody. Do I want another Mantis? I mean, I had to. I'm not dismissing my starting crew, because I feel like that'd be also the argument, maybe a human. That's not happening. And I kind of would rather have the extra Zoltan right now. I'm not that worried about borders with a crew. So I'm sorry, Zhonbing. You're out of here. You think Kestrel B is better than the Zoltan B? You know what? I wouldn't necessarily disagree, because I really like the Kestrel B. I mean, I'd probably say the Zoltan B is better, but they're pretty close. We had double reloader, heavy laser, pretty happy. I was a little worried because I wasn't getting systems for a while, but I've had some good events and stuff. How's the no repairs runs going? I forget which one you decided, if you're doing like Lanius B next. I feel like there's a couple you're deciding between, or Slug C. Yeah, Badger. Well, you know, the thing is, I don't really do them in like a number order. I put them in big groups of like, you know, like 4 buckets of like really good, good, weak, really bad. We're not selling anything here. I mean, the thing with Zoltan B, I mean, it's got a Zoltan shield, which is like insanely good. It's got 4 weapon power, which is really, really good. It usually takes like almost no damage the first 2 sectors, because the ion blasts just take weapons offline, so it transitions easily. I think it's got the best layout of all the Zoltan ships with how the rooms are arranged. It's way more compact. I mean, it's a Zoltan shield with 3 weapons and 4 weapon power. It's so good in that way. The stealth B bucket, well, it's like sometimes in my head I divide them up into, because it's neat, you can do it 4 even groups of 7, and so the bottom 7 is clearly like the bottom 5, which is stealth B, stealth C, fed C, NGB, rock A, and then you throw slug B and rock B in there too, I think, for bottom 7. Is kind of how I see it. The hardest thing for me is there's 8 ships I want to put in the top group. Alright, so we're definitely going slug. NGA, oh, struggle run for sure. Yeah, I definitely put NGA as a weak ship. Yeah, Badger, I mean, I can add 2 tiers of like, well, I can always put Lanius B and NGC above the other really good ships, for being even crazier really good, and then you can always put Stealth B just at the very bottom, because it's just stupid. I can definitely do that. All right, we're doing the oxygen. I'm glad we have a store that we know is right there, because we want to get some fuel. Yeah, you can definitely have bad hazard beacon. Like, it's definitely possible. But a lot of it's based off like experience too. Like, I haven't had really bad Zoltan B sector ones, obviously, and so I'm sure I could have a fight to be like, oh no, that was just like horrible. But I've had really bad Zoltan A runs, so I'm like, no, Zoltan A is overrated. Like, you can just get wrecked first jump. All right, so I'm gonna keep going with this run for a bit. It's only like 1 a.m. my time, but I just gotta grab some more water and stuff. So I'll BRB just like a quick minute here and keep it going. Yeah, Badger. I used to take notes like that for my runs when I didn't stream them and stuff. And I know the shortest amount of notes I have for one is Zoltan B run, which was like the same thing as Zoltan B run. That was just like, it was easy. Yeah, I've had two bad Zoltan A runs. I had one that was just like really low scrap and really bad stores, so then I couldn't get a weapon or hacking online until like Sector 5. And so I had to start running from a bunch of fights. And I had no extra crew either. Um, and then that's the one I won with 3,500 score. And I just had a burst laser one and halberd for his flagship and two shields. It was like awful. And it was like 900 something scrap. It was under 1,000. And then I had another Zoltan A run that wasn't that bad in the end, but I lost 16 hull on my first jump and still didn't kill the ship. So I definitely count that as bad. Alright, that power bar felt worthwhile. I'm just thinking. I wonder if I can run into 4 shields here. Probably. That would suck. I need to get another like weapon power hacking up. But yeah, that one Zoltan A run's my only like sub 1,000 scrap run. It was just so bad. 2 shields. That's nice. Cloaking. And weapons that can't damage us. I realize. That's convenient. Alright, so weapons here, let's do it. Let's do it up. This one's for you, Badger. Wait, their weapons can totally damage us. What am I talking about? Because this can pop my bubble. Because I don't have 3 Zoltan, so I'm being a real big dummy here. I mean, it times bad. Like they need to sync up because this won't get my shields down. But still. But I maybe wouldn't have done a oxygen hack if I was thinking about that. I don't know. Maybe. I guess their oxygen had already gone back up to full because it's level 2. Whatever. They'll be slow to repair it. They have a med bay. Like, I kind of still want to hurt them some. Cloak is going to go off too soon, isn't it? Ah, come on. He's actually just about to... I was hoping he was going to repair it just in time so I could get the hack off. But I guess also breaching it and killing him and putting fires in it is pretty good. I guess that works okay. Don't love this weapon system that can actually damage me after thinking it couldn't. Yes, Crystal B. Well, I feel like that's one of the reasons I feel like Crystal B gets a little overrated because people are like, oh, it can do the best like low score, so that means it's the best. When it's like actually, like low scrap isn't as big an issue as people think it is, in general. And like that's just like the golf record is like a super extreme example of like what goes on with that ship. And just because it can win low score doesn't mean it's the best at overcoming low score like every run. Also, I think it has like way more situations it'll run into that'll cause it to be like, you know, have nothing going on and be desperate. Yeah, like you can totally. I've had a 50 scrap sector 1 on Crystal B where I didn't get my second shield until the exit jump. Um, and then like sector 2 wasn't really much better, and it was still like okay in the end. But like if you get that like 3 sectors in a row or something, which is like bad, getting definitely to like pretty extreme RNG, but not like unthinkable. Um, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, actually now, no, they're so dumb. You could have had level 102. Because then it's like there's a point where all of a sudden it becomes a problem. Or also like if you run into like rock live mine right away or something. Like I think there's like some extreme circumstances that will take care of it that you need even more extreme bad RNG to like take down Lanius B or NGC or like Stealth A possibly even, although I don't know about like those ones. Either way, it's like an insane ship. There's no way around it. Well, I guess what I was saying though, it's like Crystal B can have 3 really bad sectors where you can't do anything really because of the ships you run into. Like if you don't get a weapon and you get 4 Zoltan sectors and auto ships and they're like just too dangerous to board or something, like you can have like just no chance to make any money, where like that just doesn't happen on Lanius B or NGC because they can kill every fight always, like safely for the most part. And so it'd have to be like literally 0, empty beacons. Like it'd have to be something that would kill every single ship versus the things. There's more situations where it's just tons of auto ships or bad hazards and stuff when Zoltan shields with no weapons that are like more common than just literally nothing at all. Which is why I feel like it doesn't quite reach the level of some of the other like really, really good ships. 44 scrap. Yeah, I forget what Retreat did. I think he had a bypass and a bomb or something. I forget, or he just had a bomb, like an ion bomb or something. And like hardly anything else. I'm sure engines to like just run from all the fights. Although I don't actually know what strategies he used. I'm just guessing, I realize. No reloader. Cloaking, which is like not doing a whole lot for us. It kind of sucks that we like need to visit some of these stores right now because we need fuel. But I can take another jump at least. Hopefully we don't find another empty jump. Door system 1, no, that's fine. Burn us away. Alright, so they can do damage to us for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, I think, less instances where you should take that much damage on Lanius B because of the advanced flak speed. Um, and then also, like, it gets auto ships and stuff. You can disable them so quickly relative to, like, other ships. But it can definitely take damage early game. Like, there's no doubt about it. And it also has, like, not always the most ideal late game setup because of the systems it has. Um, but it's still just, like, such a monster of a ship. Alright, so here I think we gotta do an evasion hack. Like, nothing else is, like, reliable enough for us here. Because we only get 4 shots no matter what setup we do. Let me do piloting. Only level 1, so there's a chance that's like the best system to hit. Otherwise, drop them to 2 here. Think about it. That was a good timing right there. I guess I could have run the Zolt in here to remove that ion damage before. Oops. Whatever, let's do this. Oh, come on, hacking. Whew. That's a big miss. Yeah, see, I lose my evasion too much then if I do that, though. It's probably the Zoltan being the shield strained one. This is gonna, like, do damage to me this next volley. Oh, that's definitely really good. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter, because that's right. I keep forgetting that what I got going on here with the Solents. There we go. That's much safer. Just a fire beam. That's not going to do anything to me. I find both Lanius B and Fed C are ships that I'm open to going hacking or cloaking on, but I basically always go hacking on. A big part of that is just because of the time it comes online, which is like much earlier in the run. I just gotta breach. Yeah, it's like the only time I really go cloaking on either of those ships are it's like where it didn't work out to get hacking earlier in the run, and then I'm later in the run and I've got strong weapons and I'm like, okay, I could just buy cloaking and just be safe, or like hacking just doesn't come up or something. So it's like totally a possibility, but it's not like a super common one to run into. Alright, so this should be the kill with the once the hack comes up. Alright, so we didn't take any damage that fight, actually. I don't think. We almost took some damage. Alright, so we'll check out another store, I guess, because we need fuel. Although maybe we can just go to this one. I mean, if we go like 8, 7, then 6, and then 3, we get up to 9. It's like, it's kind of a risk. But also, I don't want to like do store and then this and then store and then I want to have a chance of getting like hacking or something. I mean, not hacking, obviously, cloaking. FedC, it's like, my last run with FedC was like a great FedC run, and I kind of felt that way, but it's such a trap because FedC can be just so horrible. Yeah, I think I skipped this store. I mean, because it's like any boarding ship can kind of just like work out after the very beginning once you get some shields online, I think is what it is. So it's like it can just be a good run and you find some weapons and like crew and you just start killing everyone all run. But also it can be so bad. You just die in the beginning or just take so much damage you spend all your money on repairs for the first like 3 sectors. But it's definitely a little hard to know exactly where it lands with perfect play. We're safe this fight. Wow, we're getting all these fights with just like one shot and a bunch of ion. Let's see how many mantis come over. We'll probably try and save a drone part, I guess. Down to 7. Alright, so the trick here is he'll teleport back, and we wait for the next guy to come over. So we're going to try and track where he is so we know which one's which. Because they have 3 crew. I mean, assuming they don't have 2 crew, they've got 3 crew. Right, so he goes to piloting, and then he should go into weapons, I'd assume. And I think they'll probably send the engines guy next, and they'll send him into engines. Yeah, so they're sending the engines guy. Yeah, and then he's going down into engines. That makes sense. Oh, they sent the NG. That's funny, because I feel like they have a Mantis here still. Alright, that's cool. Whatever, we can do this. What just happened there? What am I counting wrong? How do we do 3 damage? Yeah, oh, they have 2 shield. What am I was like, what's that? Because I was like the 1 and the 2, but it's because one of these and one of these. That was just total, like, brain fart, I guess. I got distracted to see who ran in here to repair now, too. That's okay. Alright, he's dead. I don't know if I got any fires or anything in that room. The fact that that didn't shuffle them at all maybe makes me feel like there's one in here repairing and there's still the other guy would have ran into piloting, I guess. So I feel like I just took out a guy there and then there's someone in Clone Bit here still. Alright, yeah, now he's running because he's low health. So there must have been fires or breaches or something. No, there's no breaches. There must have been fires. And then it should be it. Yep. Having a slug makes that easier, but that wasn't too bad. Tough run, you're still at 15 hull. Oh, that's good. I'm glad that you're still... As long as you're surviving, then you can still win it, you know. You can always get free hull repair, free pre-igniter. Yeah, and also I feel like Fed C's late game is like you need to have like some serious weapons going on or something with that ship, or just like crazy upgrades, like really high scrap upgrades. Because like 2-man teleporter with the arty flak and then like hacking is just like not a great situation for the flagship if your weapons are slow or weak or something. Like you just get wrecked. Oh well, I thought he was doing just not buying repairs. I don't think it's not no repairs are allowed at all. You can have low scrap on any ship. There's every single ship you can just have a really bad sector 6, 7, 8 and just be low scrap just from empty jumps and bad layouts. Like it's always a chance. And then also with Fitzy, if you have a bad beginning, like you can spend so much scrap on repairs and be behind. You can definitely have a really rough run in that way. So medical unit, no. I don't like your weapons at all. So we're gonna do one of these guys. Yeah, see, with FedC though you do, because you have the arty flak. So you can't do like cloaking hacking for like safe crew kills. Like it's dependent if you have bad weapons, like you can't teleport and crew kill a flagship phase 1 safe like at all, especially if the hack is like anything significant. And I mean, the biggest thing though is honestly late game is rarely an issue for most ships. Usually there's some way you can figure that out. It's really just that it just dies at the beginning. It's just too slow to deal with ships, and it's bad at dealing with ships like with bad weapons in the beginning. If they have like a good anti-boarding setup, you know, that you're just sitting there forever trying to kill them. All right, do I see? I think I'll let this fire possibly. Rearrange you real quick. Real slow. Yeah, all the misses. Definitely like a little bit of a risk going for the weapons hack here. It may have been better if I did a evasion hack. Working out okay so far. Come on. We can get 3 out of 4. You can do it. I believe. Alright, good, because I don't want this like firing through this thing. or this coming would split this up a little bit. All right, there's a miss. Definitely glad to have reloader here. It's like had to do so many volleys to get through this. Like the 2 reloaders definitely made a difference in that way. I was like, I could go heal you. No, I can't heal you. It's okay. I love fires. So helpful. Here, helping you put the fires out. Turn your oxygen off for you. I don't shield hack a lot. I'm very much a fan of evasion hacks because they give guaranteed outcomes. And often it's like you only need to get a little bit of damage to make a fight safe. This fight I did weapons hacks because I often like doing weapons hacks on coffin ships and just like shooting the slug then you can just kill him with lasers in there if he doesn't have to run. But if I'm not running something very beam heavy, I don't do a ton of shield hacks often. Unless that's like what I just have to do. Even that burns down, it still won't break the ship. Yeah, I mean shield hacks are often king with beams, but not always, I don't think. Like, it also depends like how you play. Like, I feel like there's situations where I'd rather use a 1 power evasion hack, like against an auto ship with 3 shields. And like evasion hack with my flak 1 and a beam rather than shields hack with 3 power, with 2 power and hope the flak hits. Like there's times I'd rather save the power or just have it be a hack that's like doesn't have to run as long or whatever. But it's definitely not like, it depends on the situation. There's plenty of times where you just beam hack every fight. My last Mantis A run I ended up going double halberd pike beam for the last 2 sectors, so all I did is shield hack. But I definitely think evasion hacks are very strong in general. I only have 5 weapon power here with these. Get closer. Hail them to see what's wrong. Demand the rock ship pay. Take damage. Alright, so that's like the worst outcome of that. Well, whatever. Still in the green hall. Has so many different outcomes. Sometimes you can click through with so many options and then it ends up with nothing happening. Because it's like, okay, they pay, and then the slugs just say thanks. Other times it's like you get a fight and you get a free thing or a cheap reactor or whatever. 5 free damage. It's like can't even go like kill the slug afterwards or something. What is this store? Oh, jeez. This store. Silly store. What are you doing to me? I don't know what to do with this. I gotta buy cloaking. That's just like, duh. Is that all I buy here? Do I just pass up all these weapons and scanners? Yeah, there's times where the heavy 2 and shield hack, like if you need that to get through shields, but usually if I can make the fight safe with an evasion hack, then I'm always going to do that over shields hack because there's a chance with the shields hack you miss, and then you miss, and then you miss. So that's like the thing, especially with win streaking, it's like, okay, well, when you're doing 100 runs, like you're going to always get those fights where you miss an absurd amount of times in a row. Like it's pretty much guaranteed you'll have those fights when you're playing so many runs. So you always just have to plan around like, well, if I miss all my shots repeatedly, how bad is it? Because I don't have a beam versus if I can set up a situation where I know the outcome and I'm going to do this much damage to their weapons and it's the fight's safe. is like a much better situation in general. Yeah, scanners. I'm torn on scanners. It's like there's a bunch of upgrades I gotta get. I really like have to have a better way to deal with like 3 shields right now, whether it's a weapon point or a point in hacking to do a shields hack sometimes. Because I'm like low shot quantity. I do like scanners though. I mean, I gotta buy more fuel. Yeah, I think I just passed the scanners and that's okay. Okay, got you. Just dying that situation. I got you. I've had a couple of people be like really anti-evasion hacks and be like, no, you should only hack weapons or shields, basically, or you're dumb. And like good players. So I'm always like a little defensive of evasion hacks. I'll ship the scanners your way. I mean, I'll tell the slugs to ship them your way, Badger, but I'm not going to guarantee they'll get to you. Improved oxygen. All right. I always get use out of that. It's like, you just always find this event. So it's just the bomb that matters. Potentially. Seven hacking parts. Yeah, I mean, there's times where I'll do an odd hack based on the ship geometry for certain reasons, certain fights. That'll feel like the right choice. Especially for boarding, I've done some weird hacks on boarding purely for the door positioning and how it breaks up whatever certain crew they have in the rooms. I've definitely done like a weird hack that had nothing to do with what I cared about, like having be hacked. It was entirely based on just like the layout of the ship. Ah! My doors are ioned. Terrible. It's like the only thing that can actually do anything to us. Oh, I almost forgot to hit the hack. Ah, and it didn't matter anyways. Too bad. That was like so lined up perfectly there. But I'm not waiting a whole nother thing. I'm just gonna shoot. Yeah, I feel like teleporter is one of the ones that I've done the least, actually, the teleporter hack. I feel like I've probably done it. I'm sure I've done it like once or twice. I definitely hack drones. Drones is one that's not like super uncommon for me. I feel like I probably hack drones like possibly more than I hack oxygen, even. So I want to wait for the hack. There we go. Ooh, and a breach. I don't think these will even get there in time. You don't think you've hacked tele on landing bombers before? I think I may have done it. I feel like that was the ship I thought most likely that I've done it on before, honestly. It was probably a Lanius bomber. Although I've possibly done it on a Mantis ship also to, like, crew kill in some weird way. Like, there's definitely those, like, weird crew kills you end up going for sometimes. Like a late hack just to, like, trap someone in a room or something. At least for me, that happens sometimes. My weapons are annoying me. Ah, come on, we took a damage. Oh, I just realized what's going on over here. That's no good. So close to triple hit. I should probably not, like, suffocate my crew. Also, like, have the weapons trained person be the one, like, doing the weapons. Oh, come on. This ship is annoying. These oxygen hacks, Badger, I don't know. My level 1 hacking is not working out so good. I mean, it's like, you know, obviously it's been fine because it's not like we're taking damage or anything. I feel like I should just, like, wait for this to come back online still. But they have no way to heal at least, so it's like they're getting low health. They're cycling through their crew. I do that sometimes. I hit it too early. Oof. That's no fun. Almost certainly gonna break. I gotta be careful with, like, my oxygen and people running around low health. Back up to 97%. But also, this is definitely hitting me. Right? Or maybe we're back in control early enough. Miss. Come on. I mean, it's like my odds probably aren't great. I'm sure they have some crazy evasion. And it's like I'm firing, you know, 4 shots at 2 shields. And it's not, you know, we've taken a little bit of damage from Fire's Break and stuff, I guess. I think it's just the 1 damage on the piloting, but still, it's something. Although they gotta be almost out of bombs, right? Yeah, O2 hacks are definitely way better with higher level hacking. That's for sure. That's another reason I do a lot of evasion hacks, to save scrap on upgrading hacking. You know, on not upgrading hacking. I feel like we're just gonna be here all night. Like this might be the rest of the run, just doing this over and over again. Oh, pilot again. Come on. There we go. Could have been mad if that one was a double tap after all those, right? Alright, good job. Oh, that timing was perfect. So you're getting pretty close to dead. Oh, you're both trying to repair now, yeah? So you're probably dead. Each dead slug is like a better chance for lowering their evasion. Firebomb. Hey, we dodged it. That's another slug dead. Alright, so now whoever's left must just be like low health. So anyone left, there would be someone in piloting first for sure. So I think he was gonna go to piloting, but then there was fires or something. So there's 2 left, I think, and now they're just in weapons and whatever it's called, engines, weapons and engines. But I think we'll just wait it out. They're almost out of oxygen. I feel like they had a lot of bombs. I wonder if it's because like the event or something. Like they're still, they just finally ran out. It's because I'm just like pausing like crazy. I don't know. But now we're super safe. $36 scrap. That was worth like 20 minutes, right? No, I haven't upgraded. Well, I've got level 5 weapons. Oh, so I think you may have missed it in Karen. There was a fight where it kind of did what we were talking about, with the pilot, like running in and out of the room, and because it was like the same situation with 3 crew and piloting, where 2 died from the mind control, And even though nothing else on the ship was broken and there's no fires, the other guy still ran out of the room for a second before running right back in to repair. I think because like the death animation timing. So it seems like something they'll always do, actually. It won't matter if like you hit their shields or whatever. They'll just always run in and out if they're like the last crew at least. Alright, so let's see what we got for jumps. We should have 4 nebula jumps left, I think. So we'll just kind of do a little zigzag. So I want weapon. I really want weapon power more than anything else, I feel like. I think I still save. I mean, like, hacking helps too, but I really want the weapon power, obviously. Alright, attack. Probably a long cloak. And level 2 shields. That's a Lido at least. Oh no, that's an Artemis, really? Timing was bad. Yeah, I know what I was doing. Thinking about the wrong weapons. Alright, yeah, I'm doing evasion hack here. And then that's probably like an ion bomb, something fun. So easy to interrupt bombs. Alright, we got the Artemis offline also, that's awesome. Definitely best weapon to get offline. Alright, breached their cloaking, so just level 1. It's a pretty easy fight. Oh, I'm going to take damage. Because I said it's an easy fight, I didn't bother cloaking, and then I was like, this is going to sync up, and I saw it as too late. Wow, what a bad swipe. What a bad swipe. 1 damage no matter what, just going right into the hull. That was generous. Alright, bunch of scrap. Alright, 2 more. Mind control. Heavy lasers and the mini beam. 3 shields. 3 shields. Alright, 3 shields is definitely evasion hack. Ooh, they got so many crew. So that's interesting, because they can only have up to 7 crew, so they'll double man piloting before they'll man, like, mind control or clone bay or something. There's definitely got to be someone in oxygen. They love being in oxygen. No doubt about that. Slugs love their oxygen. Alright, since they don't have cloaking also, I can do a... I'll shoot piloting is like more worthwhile. because then I can do this. Just guaranteed because there's no repairing. It would be great if we got fires though. Fleeing should be fine because they're pretty injured already. Definitely not. Oh, they got fires and stuff going on too. Alright. 40 scrap. Nice. And one more fight. It's like I'm almost certainly just gonna get this, but I mean, should I just do it, I guess? It's okay. Never saved your station to 10. Yeah, there's definitely another jump here. Absolutely. Not a very good jump, but it was a jump. Pirates. It's alright. Better than abandoned. I feel like Rebel Stronghold probably would have been the coolest, right? Alright. So, sorry for the short notice, but it's like 2 a.m. I realize, so I gotta call it for the night, because I don't want to rush through these last sectors or end it like with just Sector 8. But we got through most of the run, and it should pick up pretty quick from here. We've got all the systems and weapons and stuff. It's just like upgrading, and then we'll start blasting ships really fast with the reloaders. So that'll be tomorrow night, almost certainly. So I hope everyone has a good night. Thanks for coming into the stream. Check out if you want to see stuff from my new book and my Kickstarter, my personal website, all that stuff. My stats in my profile. You know, show me any feedback you want. You know, main menu here, and see if we got someone to do a raid on. Let's see, we're playing some FTL. Alright, so let's just jump in on someone here. Alright, so I hope you have a good night, good day, whatever it is, and good end of the week here, and catch you again soon.